Hello guys, welcome to this presentation. You'll be learning how to fix story drift warning in Tekla Structural Designer's model. I will be taking you through the step-by-step process on how to properly fix this issue successfully in this video. Story drift is the horizontal displacement in a structure as a result of lateral forces. The primary causes of story drift in a structure are 1. Wind forces, and number 2 is seismic forces. If this is the first time you have come across a video on our channel, Soft Reason Academy, consider subscribing to stay connected with us. Let us dive into today's presentation. 2 ways to fix story drift in Tekla Structural Designer. 1. Using concrete mesh wall, and 2. Eliminating drift limit. Considering the first option of using concrete mesh wall, this option, we have to first of all run analysis and design on this building model. We navigate to the analysis tab, and then I'll proceed to analysis and design tab, this option, concrete, and then I click right there. You give the program some seconds to run analysis and design on this building model. Analysis and design is successful. You can see all of the model structural elements as passed design successfully. But we are having drift check showing a warning on that way right here. So this is what we are resolving in this video. So by applying the first method, I will come to this provision, right click, and get to the structural view. So in the structural view, you have this. Because the load is active, I will choose unknown right here to have none of the load active. Now I want to modify this structure by applying these options of a concrete mesh right here, this one. So to modify this structure now, I will have to delete some of these beams. I have that selected. I'll hold the control key so I can select these columns on this one. Okay, so the same thing I will do at the 4 edges of this building model. I'll select this and this beam successfully. I can use the delete option from here. I click on the OK options, and you can see those members has been deleted successfully. Okay, I come to this other 2 edges. I will select on this column member and as well as this one, and then I use delete options. Click on the OK options to get rid of that. The same thing applicable right here at this edge. So I will select this columns just like this. I delete it from here. You notice even the foundation is also being deleted just like this. Okay, now I have to navigate to the ST base. I select here. This will take me to the ST base just like this. So I want to apply the concrete mesh wall. Now go to the model tab. Before then, I have to validate this model. It's having a validation issue due to the columns members we have deleted. So I come to this concrete mesh. I will use the first options of a concrete mesh right there. So now in the property window, you can see nothing is in there. So I have to place the concrete mesh first before you can see its properties. So if I should just pick this point, so now you see the property of the concrete mesh. I can pick this second point to have it placed successfully. I can now check the property, and then you can see its connections successfully. Okay, so I wouldn't want it to get to the ST3. So since I don't want it to get to the ST3, I have to select on this, and then I make changes from here, ST2. So this way I wanted it to stop, and I can also check the wall thickness. I'm using 200 millimeters thickness of the wall, and every other information here is okay. The nominal cover is 25 millimeters. All right, so everything is good in that directions. I will now proceed. Choose the concrete mesh again, and then I will modify the top level to ST2 from here, and then every other thing is good. I will have to model it from this point to this other point. That is okay, and then I continue to model at the edges of this building model. just like this. Okay. All right. So now I'm done modeling it. I can't escape from the keyboard and then navigate to 3D. This is what I get. So you can see I provided the concrete mesh wall at the four edges of this building model. I want to be applying the beams that I deleted. So I navigate to the concrete beam right here, choose that options, and I'll scroll down. I'm going to be considering a beam section of 225 by 450. Okay, so every other things here is good. I pick the first point here, pick the second point to have the beam placed, just like this. So you can see it is being placed at the first floor as well as the second floor, because these are similar stories. All right, so I proceed to place it at these other provisions. I pick the first point, pick the second point right here to have it placed. Escape from the keyboard. So here I pick the first point, pick second point. At the third point you have to double click to have it placed, just like this. Okay, the same thing here, first point and second point, double click to have it placed, just like this. Okay, so we have done modifying this model. Okay, so you can see from here now we have validation warning. We also have drift check warning from here. So if I click on the validate now, click on validate now, you see validation warning is still there, and what is there is a model, and then this is general over here, members intersections. Okay, there are members intersection right here. Okay, so if you want to know the member that is actually intersecting, you can just expand this. So you can see the columns. If you double click, it will actually point out the columns. Okay, over here, say columns and the beams are actually intersecting right here. So we can do away with this successfully, and then you pick a beam again and see how to place it. This one first, and then place this at the second. Okay, so you can also validate to see that the validation is corrected from here. Okay, now what we are left with is the drift, which we are about to carry out the correction. Okay, so I will escape from the keyboard. All right, now I want us to look at something here. If you expand this drift and then you get to the sway and expand it, and then you also expand this as well, these are the columns affected successfully with the drift. Okay, so you can select this and right click, and then you can see this review data table. If you click on that, you have this information right here. Over here we have the twist, and then you can see the status here, the ones that have passed. If you want to check the details of this warning, if you click here, this will take you to this column C9 result based on the sway and the drift check successfully and the warning right here, just like this. Okay, so let's close this window. That is what I want to show us. We need to carry out the analysis of this structure again, since we have modified the structure with a concrete wall, just like this. Okay, now navigate to the analysis tab, and then we are going to be considering design concrete statics again. So click on this and then give it some time to run the analysis and design of this model. Now you can see that analysis and design of this model is actually successful. And then if you check over here, you can see where it's now being corrected over here. Under drift, we wouldn't have any issue, right? So this is what we actually got from here. Okay, this is what we have from here. You can see that we have corrected it using the first method, which is a concrete mesh wall. This is how you correct your drift. Okay, but what if you wouldn't want to actually use this method? Okay, so you need to now use the second method, which is eliminating drift limit. So let's go into that method now, or that way of correcting the drift check warning. Okay, so this is our previous model that we have analyzed and designed that have the drift check issue right here, as you can see. So I want us to apply the method of eliminating the drift limit. Okay, so now you have to ensure that your members have actually passed design as expected. As you can see from here, the U ratio there is 0.397. So these members have passed design, but this is still showing us a kind of sway or a drift check or warning right there. So we need to actually correct that. Okay, so now to use the second method to correct this, or the second way, is by navigating to this drift provisions. If you right click on this, you can see expand option. Click on the plus sign right here, and you can navigate to the sway option, this one. So just as shown us earlier, if you expand this, you can see the column. You can see C1 up to C20 right here are the columns affected by this sway. Okay, these columns have actually shifted. Okay, so we have to get rid of that, because you know the primary cause of this drift, as I mentioned earlier, is wind or seismic. But for these structures, I've not applied any wind to this structure, so this structure is not supposed to actually experience that drift issues as we just have it right here. So for that reason, we need to just have to eliminate the drift limit. Okay, so to do that, I will select on this way right here, right click, and then I go straight away to this option of show/altered view. I click right there. So this will navigate me to a window like this. So this window is actually telling us and giving us some information using the color code to read the information you are having in the model right here. So you can see that this color that has warning is actually the columns members that is having that issues of drift check successfully, while the one that is showing green are the one that have actually passed the drift check successfully. That is what the information is communicating from this model. Okay, so now what we need to do, we come over to the property window right here, where we have model right here. You can see review. Okay, and then the attribute, what we are considering is sway check. Okay, so now over here we have entity, where we have any, and then the capacity in percentage, you have 20.00% right here. So I can now navigate to this provision, and then I expand this, and I use this option of set off. Okay, so set off will help us to actually eliminate the drift or sway limit on this model, because there is no wind load applied on this model, and this is just a 2 floors. Okay, this is just a 2 floors structure. So I shouldn't be having this warning, and all of my structural elements have passed design successfully, very well. Okay, so now I'll use this option of set off. So once I select on the set off, I have to now select the members affected, the column members. So I'll do a window just like this to select those column members. So you can now see from the key here, right here, the legend say no check for the members showing this color. Okay, so check for the members showing this particular color. So I want to actually turn all of this model color to this no check legend color successfully. So once I'm done with this, I have actually successfully eliminate the drift limit on this model, particularly on the structural element, which is the column. Okay, so once that is done, you can use escape on the keyboard, and then now you go over here. You notice you are still seeing the drift. Okay, you have to validate from here, and then you have to also save the model from here, and you need to carry out the analysis and design again on this model, and then you check if you see this warning again. Come to the analysis tab right here, and then come to this design concrete static option. Click right there. Let's give the program some seconds to run analysis and design on this model again. Here we go. So analysis and design is successful on this model. As you can see from here, where we have the drift check, you can see that we wouldn't have any warning anymore. We have corrected that using the second method, or the second way to correct this drift check using Tekla Structural Designer. So you have learned the 2 ways to actually eliminate or correct this drift check warning in Tekla Structural Designer model successfully in this video. Drop your comment in the comment section if you have any question. If this video has given you some knowledge also, let me know in the comment section. I'm inviting you to join our masterclass on Tekla Structural Designer that is ongoing to become pro in the use of this software, Tekla Structural Designer. Also check the link in the description of this video to join our group chat, where you can ask questions, improve in your knowledge, and then answer questions as well. Okay, at this point, we'll be stopping here. I'll see you guys in the next presentations. Have a great day. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not also forget to like the video. See you in the next presentation. And bye for now.